The following audio was discovered by an intern in a Crucible radio storage facility dated March 18, 2015, previously thought to be lost forever.
Guys, I know everyone is doing it, but I'm so sick of Thorn.
It's so OP to the point where, like, I don't know, I think you're kind of scummy if you use it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I deleted mine because I'd much rather use Mida.
Plus, with only like 20 vault spaces, I mean, it's just taking up space with something that you know is basically like uncool to use. I mean, is winning so important to you in a video game that you're willing to like sacrifice your pride to equip it?
The thing that kills me is like, look, we already have 2 exotic hand cannons.
So many exotic hand cannons.
How many more exotic hand cannons do we need? 3?
I have to imagine that these will be the last ones they ever add because everyone's going to be so sick of these ones and never want to play with them ever again.
Yeah. Why would you even, like, not use the other stuff, too? Why would you even put it on?
And like Trials is coming out in this new expansion that we've been hearing about recently. That's gonna suck. I mean, it's just gonna be all thorns. I'm not gonna play. I will never play Trials of Osiris.
Oh, no. Mark my words. They are going to realize they made a mistake. They're going to take Thorn out of the game, and we are never going to see it again. Because it just breaks the game. It was a mistake, and I think they're realizing that.
Yeah, of course. And plus, like, the other thing... Wait, who is that? Why... There's this person outside. Why does that person look like me? Hey, you guys are being little scrubs. Yeah, it's Bones from 2019. Quit being babies. Thorn is good. Use it. Play to win. It's called Play to Win. What you're doing is scrub mentality. You host a Crucible show? This is a joke. I'm sorry. What do you mean? No, I'm not having any of it. You guys are going to grow up. You're going to do a better podcast.
Wait. Future Bones is mean.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. There's somebody knocking on the door. Hold on.
Yeah, I know who it is. I sent him.
Alex, Birds, listen. Okay. In about 6 months, you're going to go on a trip, and you are going to take your favorite t-shirt with you, and then you are going to leave it in the bottom drawer. You're going to forget to check the bottom drawer.
This is not what we discussed we would do.
T-shirt in there.
The one opportunity to time travel, and he's trying to save a favorite t-shirt.
Look,
Future Birds, can you focus up? What?
I appreciate you taking me back in time to correct my mistakes.
I am putting a lot on the line to do this right now, okay?
How much more dilithium crystal do we have left?
Future Bones handed me a letter. Hold on. It's a note from Future Swain. He's actually asleep, so...
Yeah, we couldn't fit him in the pod, and he didn't seem to care enough, so we left him.
Well, hey...
And it's the only way we're ever going to make it back in time to record the new podcast.
Something, time, space, continuum.
Oh, no!
It's a toxic noise. It's a noxious voice. The only sound that gets through. The only one to reach you. It's a broken scene. It's a silent scream.
Hey guys, it's Crucible Radio.
Your source for all things Destiny 2 PvP.
We're all here, all 3 of us. We survived. I showed up, even though you guys took a week off. I showed up.
You want to know what's bonkers? I still left the shirt in that room. Like, I wrote it down. I took a note. Must be something about the time-space continuum.
I feel like the past you realized it wasn't worth just like, possibly destroying everything about the future. So I think he made the right call, even though we were pretty much scrubs 4 years ago.
Yeah, but that was the
Shirts are
you never
replaceable.
saw that t-shirt. You never saw that it was so comfy. Anyways, welcome to the show, everyone. Did you guys notice it's like we're like kind of getting up there? Like, what's this, like 195?
Yeah, it's a big number.
It is 195.
Oh, there's something we got to tell you, listeners. We are coming up on episode 200, and we have an announcement about the podcast and how a core part of it is going to change pretty drastically. But before we get to it, I have to say that it's been a really amazing journey with no regrets, as we've followed this game called Destiny for a very long time. And I'm extremely proud of what we've created, honestly.
Word.
Yeah, 200 episodes through some of the really good bits and the good times and some of the rougher bits and the rougher times in Destiny. We've always created something special. We've gone over a million different ways to improve in the Crucible, even going as far as to bring in a sports psychologist. But even when it was just a TWAB with barely anything in it, we made a show. While we could go on forever making episodes about whatever the TWAB says that week, it's just not the best episode for you, the listener.
Yeah, it's true. And to any listeners who still love Destiny and listen for Destiny and value our input on the game, I want to clarify our feelings about it, because it's not that we're sad with Destiny or over Destiny, because as proof of the opposite, we're about to spend an hour talking about the multiple hours we played this week. But I think this show means a lot to us, and it could mean even more if we let it evolve and focus on all the other things we really love.
So episode 200, it's going to be a special thing and the start of a new thing. But this ain't episode 200 yet. So we're going to send this thing off, but we're going to do it in grand fashion. So listen up. These next 2 episodes are going to be our little going away present. This is going to be CR's guide to getting good, and not getting good in this current meta or this current iteration, whatever the hot subclass is. This is all of the best advice, all of the most important lessons that we've learned, that we've talked about, that people have taught us during interviews. And we're going to try and put together something that really stands the test of time, what we've learned about getting good at video games. And then the episodes after that. We got 2 more, and we're having a little award show we like to call the Crucies.
The Crucies.
Pretty sure we're sticking with that name, Crucies.
It's the best we got.
Yeah, and this is, you know how we do. We're going to have fun. We're going to pick some of our favorite moments. We're going to play some clips. We're going to reminisce. We're going to play some music.
Bruns is going to cry.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're like all going to get choked up at some point. That's usually how they go.
This show from day one has been about the 3 of us coming together, making the show we've wanted to listen to.
So for the last 200 Mondays, which is bonkers, almost 4 years, the last 200 Mondays, we've released an episode of a podcast that's been the 3 of us having fun and talking about what we care about. And that part is not going anywhere.
But it's not going to be about Destiny.
So it's going to be a big change. But I have a feeling that if you're listening to us now, it means you've probably been listening to us for a while. And we hope that you're going to come with us as we figure out what comes next. It's going to be good, you guys.
I'm excited.
It's going to be good. We've got some ideas.
There's
We
more
got
to
some stuff
reveal
planned.
in the future. I'm telling you, it's going to be fun. But hey, this is still Crucible Radio, right?
Yeah, let's just have a straight up Crucible Radio episode.
Just like the old times.
You know, there's something to be said for having what might be the very last plain old let's just talk about Destiny Crucible Radio be the week that Thorn comes back. Time is a flat circle, you guys.
Yeah. Let's talk about Thorn, baby. Let's talk about D-O-T. I don't know any of the other words, so I can't parody them because I don't listen to Milli Vanilli or whatever who did that. But hey, I was off to a good start.
Y'all might remember, end of last week, I announced I was going to take a bit of a break this season. I'm a Gambit guy.
How'd that go?
And, well, in the spirit of the thing, I think that's true, right? But guess what? Thorn is back. And what am I just going to not go get Thorn? Am I not going to go get Thorn? I'm going to need to go get Thorn. I did come in and see that there are so many milestones waiting for me. And I just went, no, I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you. That's not what this part is about. But I started on my quest. I gotta go find some warlocks in the Crucible to kill.
Yeah.
You got a bit of work put out for you. Also, now that everyone's figured out what they have to do and is on the void part, you're going to run into a lot of hunters running spectral blades, but you'll get there.
I get it. Well, you guys, Bonesy, you finished up the quest. Swain, you done yet?
No, I mean, I'm close. We did like a decent amount of it the other night. The night it came out. And it just so turns out the other nights I've had to record podcasts. So the times I would normally be playing video games have been doing this, talking about them. But I got a big chunk of it done that night. We'd also got a decent chunk of comp points that night too, because we decided it was like the best place to work on void kills.
Yep.
Because it goes faster there. So yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone.
Is that the going rate?
The name of Birds is spin-off podcast where he records with him and Future Birds and they host a show together.
Future Birds tells me what all my regrets are, and
2 birds, 1 stone. Coming to NBC this fall.
We also get super high during the recording.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, speaking of comp, I just want to say that I hit Fabled 2,100 points, baby. Shout out to Dan, Cable, Keen, Swain. Who else did I play comp with? Someone else was there that I'm not shouting out.
Was it Dway?
I don't know if I got any games with Dway, but shout out to Dway. We played games together. They've gone well. But yeah, we got there. It was a nice little grind. I love that double glory. But it turns out the triumph you need to complete just demands victories. And you don't complete that section simply by winning 90% of games on your way to Fabled. So I just have to like go out and win like 8 more quick play games. And then I'll get the
Recluse.
So I don't have that gun yet and I can't review it, but I'm very excited. And I think I'll probably try to grind it out tonight. If not, definitely by tomorrow. So by the time you're listening to this, I have it and I love it.
But you got Thorn though.
I do. And it was good. I actually liked that it didn't make me do public events like the Last Word quest did. And I just want to say there's something very weird about the fact that Last Word trailer came out and they had these great clips, bam, 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 taking down that Dawn Blade. And then those 3, knifey things in the wall where you realize Thorn's coming back. And it was like I had held the Last Word in the face and shoved them out of my way to proceed walking straight to Thorn. I don't know why I'm way more hyped for this, but I think the Last Word is great. It feels good in this meta, but I'm like so down to have Thorn.
Can I just say something that people will probably hate me for?
Sure. What else is new?
I don't like the Last Word, and I've never liked the Last Word, and I've always liked Thorn more.
Andrew, can I get a hot take?
Retroactive hot take.
That's fine. What is it about the 2 guns? Like, dive into it. They're 2 of the most iconic weapons in the game, save for Galley.
So I would say my initial dislike of the Last Word was when it was crazy powerful. I was still learning how to play Destiny.
For sure.
And I was just getting just smacked around by it. And it's a little bit of deep-seated hatred for it.
Well, there's that moment where it's like we're on every week about you know what? You want to play to win? You got to use the meta. Don't cry because somebody beats you because they're using a better gun. And it's I'm going to put on the Last Word too. My Last Word versus your Last Word. Let's see how it's like. Oh no, you're still going to kill me.
But
yeah,
for me, the difference was always the Last Word was skillful. It took skill to use, and I could just put on Thorn and use that instead and get a better feeling out of it. I don't know. It made me feel evil, and that felt good. And to be honest, getting Thorn had this really it reminded me of getting better at the Crucible. Because that was fair. The initial quest that forced you into certain loadouts and forced you into certain types of play. So that just reminds me of all the times that I was improving at the Crucible. I also just liked the recoil more of Thorn than I do the Last Word and dealing with the Last Word's crap. So basically what I did was the same as you, but I got it, put it aside and then just wait it a little bit longer for Thorn to come back. And that's what I'll be using.
Yeah, I think that's interesting because I feel like my D1 experience was probably a little flipped. And I feel like they're equally so strong. But for whatever reason, I didn't like Thorn even when I got it back. I did that quest twice because I understood that it was good and I got it. And I don't know, something didn't click. I wasn't hitting very many headshots with it. I wasn't nailing that 2-tap like everyone else seemed to be doing. And I felt maybe probably self-conscious that it wasn't making me dominate when I put it on. And I loved the last word. And I used the last word a lot when it was at its most powerful. There's an old bad Destiny montage I made where I have a clip of those like glitchy 2-taps where it does like 111 headshot damage. Like I know I just liked it. It was a monster. And something finally got me to click with Thorn and I started using it. And I think it just got nerfed where they were like, sorry, it's been a long time and we can't let this go on. So I never got to spend a long time with Thorn in its most powerful. And I remember the last word in its most powerful. And I remember trying to use the last word when it was not as strong. So I think maybe now when they both are back, I have stronger memories of the last word being OP. Now that's balanced, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I remember it. Weaker memories of Thorn being OP, so it's more exciting and new and fun for me now. But I really like it.
Yeah, there was definitely. I remember like putting Thorn back on in like late D1 and thinking like, oh, okay, this is. I am putting myself at a disadvantage by using it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, I like this D2 last word because it ain't nothing too fancy. It's just like real solid. And the hip fire's fun. You guys, and I'm saying this not because I like when Andrew does the thing that I'm about to call for, but because I honestly believe this. And because I'm also specifically hoping certain people are listening to specifically piss them off with this statement. But Andrew, can you give me a hot take, please?
Hey, yo, CR, can you throw me a hot take?
Okay, so in D1, when you got shot with Thorn, your screen turned green. That's how you knew the dot was active. People didn't like it. Now, when you get shot with Thorn, you look green. Everyone's seeing you green flashing away, but you don't get the screen turns green.
Yeah, you do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not as drastic because even that was nerfed, if that's the right word. That was adjusted in D1.
Maybe I've got a colorblind setting on for it. But like, I believe the hot take remains the same. I got shot with Thorn a bunch and like, I didn't know
This
when
just
I was
feels
burning,
like
I was getting the ping.
Yeah.
No, I want them to bring the green back.
I was going to say, it feels like back in
Bring
my day,
the green
we had
back
to
big time.
deal with
like
the
if
dot
I get shot
uphill
with it,
both ways in the snow.
I want to know, just make the corners of the screen green. I'm not looking in the corners. I'm looking at the middle part, but just flash it so I know I've got the dot triggered instead of this like real weak T little whitish flash around the sides. Nah.
Here's what we need to do, and when we continue to use this is so Thorn does function differently, and we'll get to that in a sec. But I wonder if the screen effect is different based on the type of damage you're receiving from Thorn.
Yeah, if it's the loaded dot or the not so loaded dot.
Yeah. So let's talk about the core changes to Thorn in D2. It is a 150 RPM. It's got really, really great handling, slightly medium to below average reload, otherwise serviceable at pretty good ranges. It's solid. It does piercing damage, whatever that means. It's got the same sound. It's perfect. It's green. Great little scope. And it can kill in 2 heads, 1 body, I believe. So then when you kill someone very, very quickly, and it has a very, very strong body shot time to kill. It's like 1.2 seconds for just body shots. Little bit of DOT, and you get 2 damage per tick. So then if you do kill someone with Thorn, it has to be the final blow, they drop a soul remnant. So it's this little green floaty orb over where they died. and it tracks you a little bit. Like it'll come to you if you get up close to it. So maybe 10 feet away. It's not gonna travel across the map to you like the Arc subclass on Warlocks. But it's easy to pick up if you go to that spot. And when you pick it up, it reloads about 4 rounds into the magazine. So not a full magazine refresh, but most of the time you're getting back up to 8 to 9 rounds. 8 rounds? Yeah. And that's pretty cool. And then you've got the 20% damage buff, and it kills in 3 body shots. But I think you can get off 2 headshots on a lot of armored resilience levels. It does 7 damage per tick, damage over time. That is where it's monstrous. That's where I want to know if the effect on your screen changes, like if it's worse.
Interesting. Because, I feel like I was just getting little white flashes. Yeah, wait, is 7 DOT? I believe that is enough to 2-tap under 3 or 4 resilience, right?
4.
Under 4 resilience. That's a 2-tap, baby.
That's a strong gun, and it's monstrous. It offers a very fun little gameplay loop where you don't have to reload as much. I realized I have such a habit, shoot, get the kill, reload, and I'd be like not wanting to sprint cancel my reload, but also try to cancel my reload because I realized it was pointless to get over the soul remnant. So you really do have to focus on the gun you're using. It's not just sort of like, put it on, receive buff. And I like that. I like that it incorporates an aggressive playstyle. You have to go to where you got the kill. It's not going to come to you. It doesn't automatically apply like kill clip or something like that. But it's incredibly powerful. So it rewards a very aggressive, very flowing playstyle. And when you go on a streak with it, it's really cool to just like boom, 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 like hit your soul remnants, constantly have your magazine refresh and have it be really strong. Like I'm just waiting for those moments where I get the flank and I have the charge up and ready to shoot 4 shots into a bunch of people. It's really fun.
I want it.
You'll get there.
You have
Birds.
to work for it.
Can't I just pay to win, you guys? You guys, can I be alpha? Why can't I be alpha for a while?
Sorry, Birds. It's a no can do.
Oh boy.
No can do'sville, baby doll.
So, Bonesy, do you think, I can't really, I was getting shot with it. It's okay. You mentioned the low body shot time to kill, which is like, and people forget, like, Thorn is on the faster firing side. You really gotta land those headshots with it. Do you predict that Thorn has got a place at the top of the meta?
I think it's really going to appeal at the top. I think it's strong in comp for the damage over time. And I think that might get adjusted to, like, I believe players will adjust to it and get more confident in not immediately backing out. Currently, it's weird to get a little, even the smallest effect, and you're like, oh no, that's Thorn. It's just because you hear the sound, right? That's all it is. And you kind of worry. But I believe that damage over time constantly has people falling back into cover. That doesn't always play to everyone's advantage. I played against a team, very, very good team in comp, who seemed to just survive 99, lose 99% of their health and survive just constantly. And I'd be like, I landed 2 headshots and at the bot, like, what? How did they escape? But they were so quick to react if they weren't going to win a headshot. And I don't mean that they were passive or, playing scared or wimpy or anything like that. They were very aggressive and shotgunning and everything. But when those hand cannon duels came up, they just didn't want to lose them. And it was kind of aggravating. So I think like that kind of player is going to be already prepared to not lose to Thorn very much because they'll be quick to back out and they've got their fundamentals down where they're using cover. That being said, I think it's strong, and I think
that being said, well, here, let me tag on because that being said, there's like a bunch of loadouts that I kind of gave up on because they were just all about almost getting the kill and somebody running away with 2 health left. Like, I gave up on I loved Fighting Lion. Fighting Lion was just like, I felt such a strong identity to it. It was just fun. But like playing with Fighting Lion where you land two perfect long bombs and then they just duck behind a corner and it's like, well, I guess that's that. To have somebody on your team who's just got the dot on there just to shift that a bit. You don't need 4 thorns, but that little bit would be nice.
Yeah, I was just tweeting with Mr. Lego, who recently was on the show, because he had posted a Twitter poll of last word Thorn and Ace of Spades, and this isn't even a hot take. It's a pretty mild take. I think Ace of Spades just has so much going for it. It's
just so many perks.
It's so many perks. It's got Third Eye. Memento Mori gives bonus damage, so you're hitting 94 to the head when that's charged. And the key to that is that you can store it and it'll stay. Those rounds don't disappear. Thorn, on the other hand, has a timer. It's just like Kill Clip, where you've got to use it. Plus, if you want to activate that, you do got to push into the spot where you got to kill. So you're not pushing into the room full of people, even if you manage to pick one off when they poked out of a door. Ace of Spades can keep those rounds up all the time. That's so good. And it hits pretty hard because it's the 140 archetype. It's got the most absurd range for a 140. It's so strong all over the place, plus Third Eye, like I said. So I think Ace of Spades is upper echelon. But Thorn's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. It's a good exotic to put on.
A good exotic to put on.
Crucible Radio with those expert takes.
This is Crucible Radio.
We just try to offer the best advice, like use Thorn. It's pretty good.
Okay, here's a question. What is the anti-Thorn loadout?
Okay. Oh boy. This might be a hot take. I know too many this episode, but this might be spicy. One-eyed mask gets better because of Thorn. It just got nerfed, but it's better. It heals through. It stops the dot, as far as I can tell. You're good. So you can just take those Thorn shots and know that if you win the kill, your health's going to come back and that shield will slowly return. It's good against Thorn. And people won't be happy about that, at least the hunters and warlocks. But you know what? I really like One-Eyed Mask. Birds, we discussed it last week, how strong it is. And yeah, if not hunters being the most powerful subclass right now, I'm glad, but like it is good. And the second I realized that, I was like, oh boy. One-Eyed Mask is staying on my Titan for a while. As far as weapon goes, just land your Ace of Spades shots. You'll be fine.
I wonder if it'll, I mean, we got to wait and see. These things take time. I wonder if it'll change like the degree to which people spec for resilience. Like, who knows what else might emerge in this meta. But yeah, that dot, no one likes getting two tapped. Am I right, guys?
It's a rough feeling.
Actually, hot take, Andrew. I love getting two tapped.
Two tap me, daddy.
Oh God.
No, there's like, I feel like there's times where I get three tapped and like, as I'm sitting there with the controller in my hands, like I'm listening, like remembering and listening back in my head to how many shots there was. Like, okay, it was at least 3 shots. Fine. Still went too fast for my liking, but fine. I just got good.
Question, Bones. Now that we've played it together as a team, how did you enjoy playing Gambit Prime with a full team?
Actually, that was pretty dope. It's a repetitive thing. Like, I don't know what it is. There's something about doing 10 games of Gambit versus 10 games of Crucible, where I'm always going to pick the latter. But like, it was cool, and I've been really eager to try out these roles. Now, I don't have the perk set, but good buddy Dan finally got the Sentry set completed, I think, on his Warlock at the time. And so he was like, I'll just do Sentry stuff. And we were trying to grind for those weapons. So I was Collector. Cable was half Reaper, half Collector. We did the bulk of the moats. And Swain, you just invaded constantly, which was great because like you just leave someone by the portal and they can jump in. And in Prime, you're invading constantly. So it was really just like a nice loop and you don't have to worry and you're not stealing anyone's ammo or what have you. And I didn't really think like being a Collector would be super satisfying. but it's pretty fun to actually adjust my build to that. So I ran Top Tree Night Stalker. So I had invisibility on dodge, and then I had just got the 6th coyote to drop, which gives me 2 dodges. And I was like, I don't see how this is better than Dragon's Shadow, but it turns out your dodges are up all the time. So I could invis, slide under those big ass hydras that were really hard to take down, get 15 motes and book it back using a pretty agile hunter, and always being able to get those motes so that they don't disappear because I was invisible. And I was like, wow, cool. I just built a loadout around being a collector in Gambit where I pick up motes. It's not what I've done in the first season of Gambit by any means. I like staying in the center and picking off enemies or invading, but it was really fun. And we won most of our games, if not all of them. I can't remember. It was really cool.
You did pretty well.
What did you think?
I would say I enjoyed it. It's a fun game mode. And invading for that entire night kind of just was like, it was much harder this time around than in regular Gambit. The maps are just huge and people can just get away very fast. So
Yeah.
getting those like army of one medals was a little bit harder in this game mode, but there's portals and everything. And I will say I did play the new map that came out this week that's on Titan, and that one is really fun too. It's got this, like, instead of portals, it's got these fun like conveyor belt mechanic where you hop on the conveyor belt and it like takes you really fast to the other side.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, there's something about it that I really enjoyed with all of the roles, and I really want to. I don't know if I'll have time to, but getting an invader set, like a full invader set, would be pretty cool because it just adds more perks. Like you can just go steal motes from them. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to try that out. So.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Dan had the Sentry set. So what that did, and I can't remember all of them. I don't know if they were all unlocked because it's a whole tier system. But we really used the one where you can tag special targets, because in Gambit Prime, there's these big ass yellow bars. And the first couple times I played, I was like, oh, man, this is like boss level damage. I don't really love just sitting here shooting a pulse rifle into this huge knight. I want to move around a little bit more. But when Dan would tag them, they just melted. It's like double damage, I think. So that became so clear. I was like, okay, that's why those perks exist. Yeah. And it was really cool. And he could see him from the center, and he had to move a little bit too. So there's flow to the sentry roll as well.
There was definitely plenty of ammo too. I didn't ever really find myself being like standing around the heavy ammo drop and being like, all right, well, this one's mine because I'm invading. I almost always was like doing a little round between invades and being like, oh yeah, I'm good. And you don't necessarily, like, a lot of times I was invading and using like other means of attacking the other team. So like, what was I using? The scout rifle, the Braytech one.
Oh, the chili boy,
Chili boy.
The frozen wolf.
No, it was
Osprey. No, that's the other one. Yeah,
I was using Polaris Lance.
Ah, yes, that's just the Polaris Lance, of course. Yes,
that old chap. No, I mean, like, switching between that and like guns like Risk Runner are really good in Gambit Prime. I've got the Drifter / Fast and Furious ding thing stuck in my head, so
God,
I'm sorry.
Ding, 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 ding. Man, we really went hard with the Destiny memes in season 6 or whatever. It's like we just don't let them go.
We do have to give a little bit of a shout out to our friend of the show, Fallout Plays, got honorable mention for his contribution to the Drifter thing, and it was the more cowbell.
He had even like made a tweet Like he's never won, doesn't really submit anything. It'd be super weird if he got it for this or something. And then like absolutely was what happened. That was pretty good. Ding, 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 ding. Man, I've been rocking that emblem. It's fun. I got a compliment today.
Oh, look at you with your
Look at me.
Your moment of the week emblem. Be nice.
Back to back, baby. I was in that bike video for 3 minutes.
I just have one. I listened to it once, and man, you deserved it.
I play a good little shithead bandit, I think. Someone that cries and then dies.
Cries and
Sounds
dies.
like my life.
Crying and dying.
Cries and dies, everybody. Some weird play on Rise and Shine, I think.
Oh man, I'm hoping to have more time this weekend for finishing up these things because I don't want it to last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but at the same time, like once I get
Recluse.
I don't really know what else I'm gonna go for. I guess I'll get some Prime sets, but I'm not super motivated to play that. I don't know. I guess I got to use Thorn and
Recluse.
That's okay.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe Iron Banner. Well, those armor sets, they're new. Well, maybe they'll be changing. We've got this new like buff or debuff you can choose to use in Iron Banner, so we'll definitely have to experiment with that a little bit. Although we predicted Swain and I that it might just be a bunch of people running around with that same debuff, and it's just like Iron Banner at 500 light, which will mean nothing. But I'm curious to see how it plays out.
Oh, I'm gonna overbuff.
Well, I'm gonna double overbuff.
Maybe I'll triple overbuff.
You know what's interesting? I feel like I'm just like I went and got sober and went to go hang out with my drug friends again. We're talking about where to score and who's got the best stuff, and we're almost out. We need to go to some new stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, every day turning over a new leaf. So grateful for the clarity that I've got. And also just like
come grind comp, birds. It'll be fun. You'll be fine.
Don't you want to just have 10 hours of your life disappear?
Don't you want pinnacle weapons?
There's a term I use with the missus where, because like, it comes and goes, but I get real into a game and I just like give myself a pass to play it a lot. And there's always a point, she's very patient with me, where it's just like, man, he's disappeared for a couple of days. But there's always a point where I say to myself, like, and I say to her, like, I think the fever's breaking. I think I think I'm past the worst part of it, right? Like,
God,
it seemed everything. It seemed so important that I have it. And now it's like, it happened with that phone game, that War of Omens game, where it's just like, I gotta go do my dailies, right? Gotta go get those things so I can unlock the thing. And then just being like, yeah, I think the fever's broken. Like, maybe I'll pop in and click the button for the free thing. But like, yeah, I don't need to build decks tonight.
What's the thing that you literally logged in for the daily reward thing the longest, even though a while back you stopped playing it?
That's a toughie because I feel like that's a short window for me. Because like when I'm done, I'm on to the next thing, and I can hardly remember why I even cared about the previous one. That's a good question. Well, give me a second to think. Well, what's your answer?
I might say Contest of Champions, the Marvel mobile game. Like me and my girlfriend, and then a few of the guys started playing it and really put a grind into
Discord
it.
For it.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I think the Discord was what put it over the top.
Well, the timing was it's about 3 months of pretty religious playing to get a 5-star hero. And then you're playing against RNG just to do that. And I got a 5-star hero that like didn't really help my team and I wasn't super excited about. And it was like, oof. So like that took the wind out of my sails right around that time. It was like, oh, this clan I'm in is going to kick people out or something. And it was like not worth it. But I feel like I clicked it because it was like worth it to get the daily crystal or whatever. And I must have done that for a week or two before I just stopped playing it. Let me check my phone.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You're free.
I don't
go
have that
back.
installed, but I'm trying to think of what's been installed that I haven't opened in a long time. Grubhub.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. So I will say, I think there was a like a shoot 'em up game, like with a little plane where you fly around, where I really did the dailies.
Oh, I remember that game.
It's a good one. It's one of the good
Yeah,
ones.
I didn't like how repetitive it was. It made me do the same level like 40 times.
That's true. That's true. There's definitely like, can you do it but not miss a single enemy instead of one enemy this time? But I think yes, Skyforce 2049. You know what? It's not for you. It's not for you. But man, that's my shit. But I think I will say the actual answer to this, which I feel is in the spirit of it, is like first lap around Zur. I know it's a weekly thing, but like that was one where I was always there, or like I'd be out of town and like in a panic, call up Huge and be like, hey, yeah, okay, you're gonna have to turn my PlayStation on. You're gonna have to go transact with the guy, and then just describing what the little pictures will look like of the one that it is that I want while I like check notes on my phone. Yeah, remember back in the day when Zur was like the thing.
I was thinking about that recently because I realized like that's kind of a bummer that since the second Forsaken dropped, I didn't see Zur. I just haven't. And I just saw him for the first time to get Oathkeepers for Hunters because I haven't got Forsaken Exotics to drop, which is a whole thing. But I was like, yeah, it used to be such a ritual. It used to be such excitement that you would get a new fancy thing, a new shiny from Zur. And they went away with that. And I know it's good that, we've got quests for exotics. That's more exciting. But yeah, like it's strange. There's not much purpose. I used to stay up till 2 a.m. when the reset was at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
To be like, what's he have?
I did that exactly once, and it was such a wild experience the first time to see everybody there, and everyone's running around the tower looking for it, and you're like running past people going one way while you're going the other way, and everyone's
Yeah.
checking. I did that once, and then remember thinking to myself, like, yo, it's 2 a.m. What am I doing? No, no, that was really fun, but I'll never do it again.
Yeah. Plus, you can't go like start a Crucible game to try out that new exotic.
Yeah.
So then you're staying
really
up too late, and you are wrong. So you just like get it. You look at it, you're like, okay, like I'll just play it tomorrow.
Yep. Also, Zur represented the perfect thing of just like, remember to log in and we'll give you the shit that you want for free without having to do any work.
Yeah, that's important for some people, man.
That's nice for me. That's nice for me. I just want to play with the thing.
You're gonna have to visit Zur this week, though. Bones.
Yeah.
He's gonna
I
have
know.
the story.
I am interested. I think it's real sneaky that they've got the 9 involved with the Drifter. The lore, I've realized reading them once a day was silly, so I'm stocking up on the Arnor stuff, and the Allegiance quest is out now. But like those little teaser things they posted on Twitter, those are very interesting.
Yeah.
And I love this added character that finally questions the Guardian, the legend of the story, because like, why wouldn't someone in the universe, and even the shadiest characters like the Prince or Spider are always like, you're that guy, but oh well, you're my ally. Like they're instantly cool with it. So no one really like questions you. And I love that there's this character who was just thinking, hold on, they're not perfect.
I have gone full rogue and just been like, all right, Drifter, let's burn this place down.
Yeah, I can.
As you kind of
how anyone
care
would be
less,
like,
you're just
I'm
like,
gonna be the good guy.
you're like, yeah, the Vanguard, fuck them.
So we don't really know what, but there's gonna be a package, right? Like we get a powerful drop and a bunch of stuff. I found that probably both of those things aren't hyper interesting to me, but I do like that there's just weird dialogue changes. So if you side with the Drifter, Swain, you said that you have the Dredgen title and there's different dialogue for that, right?
Yeah,
So
like
he refers to you as such.
yeah, he'll do that as Gambit games start and Gambit Prime games start. It all kind of changes for you.
Yeah. So if you side with the Vanguard, the Drifter starts calling you a snitch. And I think that's really great. And I think that's some like good long-term storytelling engagement besides, on top of going to the Dreaming City. That's a nice little addition. I didn't, you can't highlight that in the Vidocs as much, but it was really cool.
Well, you have a choice, right?
Yeah.
You're not just on rails. You're not,
And
and like, nothing wrong with that. I like a nice curated story, but to like have a choice.
Yeah. I wanted to impact something major in the future, not just like you get these items for the rest of the season. That's cool. Jason Schreier had a good tweet about that, which is just like 2016, run around in circles, pick up items. And then now it's like 2019, like this decision will change your destiny life forever. Like I want it to be that, even if I'm sneakily doing it on 2 characters. I wanted to change it.
I'm okay pissing off Zavala. It's Ikora that I feel bad.
Oh yeah, no one's saying anything to Ikora. You just bow your head and walk down to the annex.
I feel like she'd be secretly okay with me doing this though. So
she knows you're good.
I'm all right, guy.
What if you have to backstab the Drifter?
Ding 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 ding
No.
ding. Can I just finish the podcast from here?
Yeah.
I'm like laying down.
Oh.
Yeah, I get into that.
Are we just going to talk far away from our mics because I'm sitting at my desk and don't have a recliner?
Well, I think as you might remember, this is the signature sound of future us.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we're like a couple feet away.
And for
In the
those listening
future.
who wondering if we're just like officially fucking around, it's true because this is the end of the episode.
Yup.
Welcome to the end of Crucible Radio episode 195. Wow.
Yeah.
We're getting
What
there,
you
boys.
don't realize is that we spent an hour before this working on stuff, and it's a long night.
Hey, shout out to people who listen to the outros. There's been some of Crucible Radio's greatest content, greatest jokes that happen at the end as Andrew fades us into music. What has been revealed here will be cherished by us. And, we'll cherish it with the few of you that stick around through the whole thing.
I think there's value in making people work for it. Because it's not all jokes. Sometimes it's plugs. For example, if you enjoy the show and you wanna get behind the scenes and learn a little bit more about them old Crucible Radio boys, what we're like, what is actually, just what we do before we record this show, just sort of talking about our real lives. We put out 2 episodes a month of Real World Crucible Radio on patreon.com/Crucible Radio. It's $1 an episode. This time we had that first episode of March, which is coming out, I believe tomorrow, is tomorrow for us. I don't know when it is. We start talking about food. You guys are doing some food stuff, and that got real. And then coming the second half of March, I got some real life shit to talk about that I'm not gonna talk about here, but it's good.
Yeah, it is good, Birds. You're a good boy.
I'm a good boy. Tell me I'm good. Just tell me I'm good. Just tell me
I just want to give a shout out to Fenak. I ran into him on comp or them, and we had a little GG after the match, and they mentioned that they've been listening since year 1 of D1, and that's wild. And it's like it made me think of the first time I ever got a message on PlayStation or someone waving in the tower and then sent me a message and said, "Are you Bones from Crucible Radio?" Like, fucking changed my life, and that was really cool. So it's awesome to have that happen now, and it's really good to see listeners out there playing PC comp because someone's got to do it. So that's cool. Shout out to Fenak. That's it.
Yeah, message me.
Going back to
this
the
week,
future now.
and
Say hi to Swain.
I'll shout you out on the show too.
Okay. Send
Gotta
me
find-
$5.
You
to
gotta
my
find
Venmo.
me though.
Yeah, that's it.
Swain's gonna plant his character somewhere on a planet like Zur, but it's just Swain, and you can say hi.
You get nothing but a shout out.
Okay, bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Getting lost when I read between the lines. Where do you go when there's only wrong or right?
When I say friends of the show, I mean friends of the show. And this music you're listening to, well, we go way back with Hawk. Check them out, soundcloud.com/Hawk Music. Give you a little hint. It's VV instead of W. HAVVK, Hawk. This is their new single, If I Don't Tell You. Go check it out. And hey, if you're a musician and would like to hear your music on Crucible Radio, it's pretty simple. Just send an email, crucibleradio@gmail.com.
Anybody could have said it just the same. Your skin red and it's easier to blame. Look around with no shade of gray inside. Nowhere to go when there's only wrong or right. Anyone can see the damage in your words. Did you let go of your reason to be heard? Getting lost when I read between the lines. Where do you go when there's only wrong or right? If I don't tell you, if I don't tell you.
Hello everyone, Swain here. You know that Crucible Radio is your source for all things Destiny PvP, and I know you want more than just this video, so make sure to head on over to crucibleradio.com to find all of our past episodes, detailed Crucible maps, t-shirts, and much, much more.